being inside of a consulting business and things that you could do to accelerate the perception of your expertise in the marketplace, what recommendations would you have to people who are already running their own consulting business? And if they want to be recognized in the marketplace, what are some things that you've seen work well yourself, or that you believe could really make a difference and help them to get that recognition and see those results sooner?
Right. Here's one thing, like Josh Schultz introduced us, and I'm really grateful for that. He has a very unique approach. He and I truly appreciate him as a person and a human being and as a friend. He says, look, at the beginning, it's not about making business or making money. It's about sharing what you know. And if you have something valuable to share, whether it's LinkedIn or whatever social media or whatever platform you use, people will, and if you do it in an intelligent way, people will come back and ask you for your advice. And there you go. So it's not about making the sale on day one. It's about sharing your knowledge. What I found for myself very powerful is to be together with the right people. So an example in Mexico is Oscar Albin. He's the president of INA. That's the Industry Association for all automotive parts manufacturers. And it's probably one of the top 2 organizations in the automotive world in Mexico, if not the top one. So once you get his attention and his team's attention, and you get an opportunity to speak on his conferences and podcasts and other things, that helps. Doesn't make you money, right? But it helps to establish you as an industry expert, because he wouldn't invite you if you don't have anything valuable to share.
And is that what you've done? You got his attention. So walk us through that. I want to make it really tactical and valuable for everybody. What did you do? What were the steps that you took to get his attention, and then to get acceptance, and then to get some time on the stage in front of potential clients?
Right. I mean, I had the luck that I was sent by Mercedes as the head of purchasing and supplier quality to Mexico some 7 years ago. 8 years ago, and at that time I got to know Oscar, and he invited me in that moment as a head of purchasing. And here's the first thing: many of my predecessors probably did not go to these conferences, because you have to get the buy-in of compliance department, and it's actually not that easy to get your presentation pre-approved in a big organization. So even he invited, let's say, 10 OEMs, only 4 showed up, and that was the first step. So already while I was working for the OEM, I tried to help him out in this case, because for my day-to-day business, it really didn't matter whether I was doing this presentation in front of a couple hundred people or not. I thought it was beneficial for the mission, because we were doing supplier development and looking for specifically new suppliers at that moment. But I also understand why people say, I'm not going to do that. So that was the first step: establish the relationship. In that case, I had something to offer to him. And the second important step is, when I left Mercedes, he was on my top 10 people to call, not email. That's important. Not if something's important to you and your mission, don't use LinkedIn, don't use email, call, try to get a meeting, try to take a coffee. And that's exactly what I did. I called Oscar and told him that I would like to have a coffee with him, because I will be leaving Mercedes, or in that case Daimler, and I will be joining Ambi, and I want to talk to him about what we can do together going forward.
Right. How did he receive that? I mean, because I think some people hesitate to take that action, Martin, because they don't want to come across as being salesy. What was your mindset going into making that request?
I don't want to sell you anything, Oscar. I'm here to let you know what Ambi has to offer, and I'm doing a brainstorming together with you about what we can do together. How can we create win-win? And that doesn't mean that I expect him to run my sales ad on his channels, but maybe there's a topic where we can give value add to his members, and of course, it's not going to cost him to have us on his panel.
Right. So is that what you said to him to get the meeting, or that was just kind of what was going through your mind as you were thinking about setting up that meeting?
That was going through my mind. What was going on in my head probably was, Oscar is probably one of the most important people in the automotive industry, if not the important one in Mexico, certainly the top two. I need to get a coffee with him so he knows what Ambi's doing. And then even if he doesn't let us play on any of his channels, his advice is good. And honestly, I don't remember whether I called him before I took the decision or after. So here's another important thing. If you're ever considering leaving a big company and going by yourself as a consultant, think about who are potential stakeholders in your future and just use them as a mentor. So I'm not sure, maybe Oscar remembers whether I asked him before I left, what is his opinion.
Right.
But I certainly asked several people before I took the big step after 12 years in a corporate career to leave.